The galaxy had forgotten them. For 500 years, the warships of humanity had drifted in silence. They slept under the shadow of cold, dead moons, their metal bodies covered in dust and ice. No engines, no lights, no signals, just hulks of ancient steel, larger than cities, resting in the darkness. Most believed they were dead relics, monuments to a war no one remembered clearly. The younger races of the galaxy told stories about them, calling them the sleeping titans or ghost ships of Earth. But those were only myths. No one had seen a human warship move in centuries until now, far beyond the border worlds. An alien survey vessel glided through the black. It belonged to Commander Vera of the Aeritheri people, a historian and explorer. She was not searching for trouble. She was searching for the past. Her scanners picked up strange readings of faint energy signature where there should be nothing. She adjusted the sensors, frowning. The signal was coming from the far side of a frozen moon. It pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. Vera brought her ship closer. The moon's shadow fell away, and then she saw it. It was massive, a warship unlike anything she had seen in the archives. The hull was blackened from centuries of silence, but the shape was unmistakable: sharp angles, armor plating, gun batteries along the sides. It was human. Vera's breath caught in her throat. She had read about them in old records, always dismissed as exaggerated human propaganda. But here it was Dot. As her vessel drifted closer, she saw more shapes in the distance. 10, 20, maybe more. All of them were the same ancient silent war machines, frozen in place like statues. She activated her recorder. Survey log. I have found them. The human fleet is real. Her crew whispered to each other in disbelief. Then it happened. One of the ships flickered. A small light appeared deep within the hull, red at first, then white. The energy readings on her console spiked. Vera stared as more lights came on, running down the warship's spine like veins awakening after a long sleep. Slowly, its massive engines glowed. The ice covering its armor cracked and fell away. The warship was waking. Up. Her communications officer panicked. Commander, something is powering up its weapon systems. Vera shook her head. No, not weapons. This is a startup sequence. But deep in her mind, a cold truth was forming: if one of them was waking, others could too. She sent a coded message to the Galactic Council. Priority alert. Humanity's fleet is not dead. Repeat, not dead. On the capital world of the Galactic Council, the message caused chaos. For centuries, humanity had been absent from galactic politics. Their homeworld had fallen silent after a great war against an unknown enemy. Some believed they had destroyed themselves. Others thought they had retreated into isolation. But everyone agreed on one thing: human warships were the most dangerous weapons ever built. If they returned, the balance of power would shift overnight. Councillor Dresk of the Vortha species slammed his claws against the table. This cannot be allowed. If the humans rise again, every world is in danger. Ambassador Keelerin from the Waterworlds disagreed. Or perhaps they will protect us again. It was their fleet that saved the galaxy once before. The chamber erupted into argument. Orders were given. Fleets were prepared. No one knew what the humans wanted, but everyone knew they would soon find out. Back near the frozen moon, Vera remained in her observation deck, eyes locked on the awakening Titan. The massive ship drifted forward slowly, its colossal engines now fully lit. Panels shifted along its hull, revealing ancient symbols: Earth's flag, faded but still recognizable. Then her ship's system crackled. A deep, mechanical voice spoke in perfect galactic standard. "This is AI command. Unit Helios, of the UNS Titan class, Dreadnought Iron Requiem. State the status of the war." Vera froze. The war. She asked carefully. "There is no war. Not anymore. It's been centuries." The voice paused. "Negative. Hostile threat not neutralized. Reactivation protocol engaged. Summoning fleet." Before Vera could respond, beams of light shot from the Iron Requiem into the void, like signals calling across space. One by one, the other silent warships answered. Their cores lit up. Their engines roared. In minutes, the dead fleet was alive. Again, Vera's crew watched in awe and fear as dozens of massive dreadnoughts formed into perfect battle formation. The soundless void now burned with light and power. She whispered to herself, "What have we just woken?" Far away, on a hidden station orbiting a dead star, a cryopod hissed open. Inside was a mana-human, wearing the dark uniform of a long-forgotten navy. His eyes snapped open, cold and sharp. Captain Arden had returned. He stepped onto the deck, looking at the galaxy map flickering before him. The red markers were already there, spreading from the outer rim toward the core. The enemy was moving. Again, Arden's voice was calm but heavy. "So, it's time." In the blackness between stars, the fleet accelerated, leaving the frozen moon behind. Their engines burned like suns, carrying them toward the heart of the galaxy. Vera's last message to the Council was simple. They are awake, and they are not coming to talk. The human fleet did not slow. From the moment the first warship awoke, the others followed. Their formation was exact, their movements precise, as if centuries of silence had been only seconds of rest. "Commander." Vera's small survey vessel drifted far behind, careful not to get too close. Her crew was terrified, but she couldn't look away. It felt like she was watching history restart. The Iron Requiem led the fleet, its black hull reflecting the faint light of distant stars. The AI voice Helios spoke again through her comms, but now its tone was different. "Incoming human command authority detected. Stand by." Before she could ask what that meant, the warship's hangar doors opened. A smaller shuttle launched from the Iron Requiem, heading toward her ship. Her officers panicked. "Commander, we should leave now." But Vera held her ground. "No, open the docking bay. Let's see who's coming." The shuttle docked with a hiss of pressurized air. The outer hatch opened, revealing a tall figure stepping onto her ship. He wore a dark navy uniform, old but perfectly kept. His hair was streaked with silver, his face lined with the kind of scars that told of long wars. His eyes cold, sharp, and human swept across the room. "Who commands here?" he asked, his voice calm but carrying authority. Vera stepped forward. "I am Commander Vera of the Aeritheri people, and you are." He studied her for a moment. "Captain Elias Arden, United Nations Stellar Navy, last commanding officer of the Titan-class fleet." Her mind spun. This man was supposed to be dead for centuries. How are you alive?" She asked. Arden's expression didn't change. "Cryo-suspension. I was ordered to remain until the activation signal came." Vera's feathers shifted uneasily. "What activation signal?" Arden's gaze hardened. "The return of the enemy." He walked past her to the main viewport. The fleet was visible outside, hundreds of kilometers away, but still close enough for their sheer size to fill the view. These ships were not meant for politics, Arden said quietly. They were built for one purpose: defense against the Voidborn. Vera frowned. The Voidborn, that's just a myth. Arden turned to her, his voice firm. No, they are very real. And they never stopped hunting. He explained centuries ago, the Voidborn came from the dark beyond the galaxy. They did not trade. They did not speak. They consumed. Entire systems vanished in days. Humanity, young but desperate, built the Titan-class fleet to fight them. For 20 years, the war raged, and then the Voidborn retreated into the void. But humanity's leaders feared they would return. So, they left the fleet sleeping, hidden away, waiting for the signal. Vara's voice was almost a whisper, and that signal just came. Arden nodded. They are back. The first sightings were weeks ago. Colonies, in the far rim, silent. No distress calls, no survivors. My orders are clear. Reactivate the fleet. Prepare for war. Back in the Galactic Council chamber, panic spread. Vera's earlier warning had shaken them, but now reports confirmed its strange black ships were attacking border worlds. Some council members argued to send their fleets to intercept the humans before they gained more power. Others wanted to join them. No one could agree. Councillor Dresk slammed his claws again. If the humans fight this war, they will not stop at the enemy. They will rebuild their empire. Ambassador Keeleron's voice rose. If they do not fight, the Voidborn will consume us all. Perhaps humanity is exactly what we need. The council voted and, as always, the result was delay. No joint fleet would be sent. The humans were on their own. Aboard the Iron Requiem, Arden stood on the command bridge. His officers, humans in cryo for centuries, were waking up one by one. They moved like professionals, running checks, speaking in calm, efficient tones. Status? Arden asked. Fleet at 70% combat readiness. Ammunition stores at 50. Hull integrity across ships ranges from 85 to 94%. Engines stable. Arden gave a single nod. Begin arming the primary batteries. Signal all ships formation, Delta 7. We moved toward the rim. Vera stood beside him, feeling the low hum of power under her feet. You really believe this enemy will reach the core worlds? Arden's eyes never left the star map. If we don't stop them at the edge, they will burn their way inward. And trust me, they will not stop for anyone. She hesitated. Then, let me help. Arden turned to her, surprise flickering in his expression. You're not human. No, she said, but my people remember the stories. The last time you fought them, you didn't fight for just humanity, you fought for all of us. After a long pause, he nodded. Then you ride with us. Hours later, the fleet prepared for warp. Engines glowed brighter than the stars around them. One by one, the massive warships vanished into streaks of light, heading toward the dark frontier. Vera's heart pounded as her ship was pulled along with them. She didn't know if she had just joined a salvation or a funeral march far beyond. The rim, in a place where the starlight faded into nothing, the Voidborn moved. Their ships were not metal but living shadows, their surfaces shifting like smoke. They glided through space in absolute silence. In the center of the swarm was a colossal shape larger than any Titan-class dreadnought. It pulsed with a dull, black light. Inside, something that was not human, not even alive in the way mortals understood, opened its many eyes. It had sensed the awakening of the human fleet, and it remembered them as the Iron Requiem prepared to drop out of warp at the first target system. Arden's voice echoed across the comms to every human warship. "This is Captain Arden to all hands. 5 centuries ago, we swore an oath to protect the galaxy from the darkness. That oath has no end. Today, we honor it again. Today, we go to war." The war drums of humanity were silent no longer. The human fleet burst out of warp into the cold emptiness of the outer rim. Before them stretched a star system long abandoned. The central star burned faintly, casting a sickly yellow light over 3 dead planets. Scanners showed no life, no stations, no transmissions, only silence. But Arden knew better. Silence was the Voidborn's shadow, from the Iron Requiems. Bridge. Commander Vera watched the Titans spread into formation. Dozens of massive warships moved like one body, their engines glowing pale blue in the darkness. The sheer precision made her shiver. "Scanners?" Arden asked. The sensor officer replied, "Minimal debris. No active signals. But," he hesitated, "reading something faint, sir. Almost like movement. Everywhere." Arden's jaw tightened. Everywhere meant they were already inside the system. They didn't have to wait long at first. It looked like shadows drifting across the edge of the star's light. Then the shapes began to move fast. Hundreds of them, their outlines twisted as if made from smoke. Yet their movement was sharp and deliberate. The Voidborn had arrived. Vera's heart pounded as the first wave closed the distance. Their ships were unlike anything in the galaxy long, spear-like bodies with jagged, shifting edges. The hulls absorbed light, making them look like holes cut into space itself. She whispered to herself, "How do you fight something that eats?" Light Arden's voice cut through the tension. "Target acquisition priority, fire on the leading swarm. Do not let them breach the line." "All batteries locked, sir," the weapons officer confirmed. Arden gave the order, "Fire." The Titans roared to life. Massive railguns launched projectiles at near light speed, each strike lighting the void with fire. Plasma cannons spat molten energy, slicing through the black shapes. Missiles streaked away, their warheads detonating in brilliant bursts. The first volley hit hard. Several Voidborn ships tore apart instantly, dissolving into ash-like fragments that drifted soundlessly away. But the swarm didn't slow. Vera saw something that made her blood run cold when the debris of a destroyed Voidborn ship scattered. The smaller fragments began twisting and reforming into new shapes. They're rebuilding themselves, she gasped. Arden didn't look surprised. They learn, every time you hit them, they change. That's why we never built just one type of weapon. The Voidborn struck back. A beam of pure black energy lanced from one of their ships, tearing through the shields of a Titan frigate. The ship's hull warped and crumbled as if eaten by invisible acid. Within seconds, it was gone. Frigate Hammer's edge destroyed. An officer shouted. Another black beam struck the Iron Requiem. The entire bridge shook, lights flickering. Shields held but barely. Arden's voice was steady. Reinforce. Forward shields. Deploy counter-drone nets. Keep the line intact. In the chaos, Vera noticed something strange. Some of the Voidborn ships weren't attacking directly, they were hanging back. Watching, observing. "They're studying us," she said aloud. Arden glanced at her. "They always do. They're hunters, and hunters learn their prey before they kill it." minutes stretched into an eternity. The human fleet fought with brutal efficiency, but for every void-born ship destroyed, more seemed to appear from the darkness. "Sir, long-range scans are picking up something huge," the sensor officer reported. "How huge?" Arden asked. "Bigger than the Iron Requiem. Much bigger." Then the darkness shifted. A colossal shape emerged from behind the third planet, dwarfing even the largest human dreadnought. Its hull was jagged and uneven, as if grown rather than built. At its center pulsed a massive black core, glowing faintly, like a dying sun. The bridge fell silent as everyone stared. Vera whispered, "What is that?" Arden's eyes narrowed. "That is a void-born command ship. We never managed to kill one during the last war." The command ship opened its maw, impossible, gaping rift and unleashed a wave of distortion. Space itself seemed to ripple. Several human destroyers were caught in the wave and simply vanished, erased from existence without sound. All ships, evasive maneuvers. Arden barked. The fleet scattered and reformed. Titans turning their heaviest guns toward the behemoth. "Fire the silencers," Arden ordered. From the Iron Requiem's underbelly, enormous beams of golden light erupted, tearing across the void. The impact slammed into the command ship's hull, burning through the shifting black surface. For the first time, the Voidborn reacted. Their movements became erratic, their formation breaking. But the victory was brief. The hole in the command ship's armor closed, as if it had healed. The black glow from its core flared brighter. Vera's voice trembled. "You can't kill it." Arden's jaw clenched. "Not like this. We'll have to bleed it until we find the core's weakness." He opened the fleet-wide channel. "All ships, switch to pattern Omega. Focus fire on the command. Ship, keep your spacing tight. We hold the line or the rim falls." For the next 20 minutes, the battle raged. The human fleet moved like an unbreakable wall, guns thundering, missiles screaming. The Voidborn pressed forward, relentless, their black beams slicing through armor, their numbers endless. The command ship loomed at the center, taking the punishment, glowing brighter with every hit as if feeding on the fight itself. Finally, the sensor officer shouted, "Sir, I've found it. Weak point detected. The glow inside the core, it's unstable." Arden didn't hesitate. "All Titans, concentrate fire on that point." Now, the human warships unleashed everything: railgun barrages, plasma fire, sunlances. The void lit up in blinding light. The command ship shuddered, its hull splitting open. A deafening pulse echoed through the Cumsnot, a sound, but a vibration that seemed to reach into the bones. Then the colossal ship retreated, vanishing into a tear in space. The swarm followed, leaving behind only drifting fragments. The void was silent again. Vera looked at Arden. "We won." He shook his head slowly. "No, that was just their scout. The real war hasn't even started." Far beyond the rim, in the darkness between galaxies, thousands of void-born command ships stirred. The hunter had found its prey again then. This time, it would not stop. Asterisk, the stars over the rim burned with fire. The Titans moved as one, their massive hulls casting shadows across the void. Repairs had been quick, and brutal damaged sections welded over. Armor plates replaced, energy cells recharged. There was no time for perfection. The Voidborn would return. On the bridge of the Iron Requiem, Captain Elias Arden stood over the central star map. Red markers bloomed at the galaxy's edge, Enemy incursions growing like a spreading infection. They're moving faster than last time, Arden said. Commander Vera leaned closer to the map. They've split their forces. They'll try to cut you off from the core worlds. They won't get the chance, Arden replied. His voice was steel. We hit them first. Orders rippled through the fleet. The Titans were not made for running, they were made for war. Each ship's engines glowed like miniature suns. Hull plating gleamed as gun ports opened along their flanks. The great cannons that had been silent for centuries were now alive, humming with deadly energy. On the comms, the voice of our I-Command unit, Helios, resonated like thunder. Fleet formation locked, all primary weapons charged. Firing solutions, calculated for maximum efficiency. When the Voidborn came, they came in force. From the blackness, hundreds of their spear-like ships poured into the system. The swarm moved in perfect, eerie silence, twisting unnaturally as they closed the gap. Behind them, Vera saw the massive shadow of another command ship, larger than the first. They've learned from the last battle, she said quietly. Arden didn't flinch. So have we. The first volley came from the humans, every Titan. Fired at once. Railguns thundered, their kinetic rounds slicing through the front ranks of the swarm. Plasma lances burned white-hot paths through the darkness, ripping enemy ships apart. Swarms of autonomous hunter drones launched from the Titans, weaving between enemy fire to detonate at close range. The void lit up like 1,000 storms. The Voidborn struck back. Black energy beams cut through the fleet's outer line, destroying 2 destroyers instantly. Smaller Voidborn craft latched onto a human battleship, biting into its armor like swarms of mechanical piranhas. Leviathan is breached, an officer shouted. Multiple hull penetrations. Arden's reply was cold. Seal the ship. Activate internal defense drones. No boarding party leaves alive. Vera's eyes darted across the battle. The human fleet moved like a living thing, shifting formation to shield damaged ships, concentrating fire on weak points, adjusting every second. They fight like they've done this 1,000 times, she murmured. They have, Arden answered. We were bred for this war. The enemy command ship advanced, its black core glowing brighter. Waves of distortion rippled from it, bending light and space. Human missiles twisted off course, vanishing into nothing. They're warping the battlefield, the sensor officer reported. Not for long, Arden said. Bring the Titans in close. They can't warp space inside our line. The fleet charged. It was not reckless, it was a calculated strike. The Titans plowed into the swarm, their massive guns tearing apart enemy ships at point-blank range. Plasma torpedoes detonated in the heart of the formation, turning dozens of Voidborn into burning debris at the center of it all. The Iron Requiem unleashed its most feared weapon, the Singularity Cannon, a sphere of pure gravitational collapse. Fired from its bow, sucking in enemy ships like leaves into a storm. They crumpled inward, crushed to fragments. Before vanishing into nothing, the Voidborn recoiled, their perfect formation breaking for the first time. But the command ship did not retreat. It opened its rift mouth again, spewing a torrent of black energy. A Titan to port vanguard of Earth took the full hit. The massive dreadnought groaned, armor melting away, engines failing. Arden's voice was low but clear. Captain Rios, you know what to do. Rios's voice came through the comms, calm and steady. For Earth, for the galaxy. The vanguard of Earth turned directly toward the command ship, engines blazing. As it closed the distance, every remaining missile and warhead aboard armed at once. Seconds later, the Titan rammed into the command ship's side. The detonation tore through the black hull, creating a wound so large even the Voidborn's unnatural regeneration struggled to close it. Now, Arden shouted. Concentrate all fire on the breach. Every gun in the fleet focused on the glowing wound. Lances of energy, railgun shells, plasma bursts slammed into the opening. The enemy's core flickered, pulsed, then dimmed. The command ship shuddered, but it did not die. Instead, it emitted a deafening pulsar signal. Across the star map, hundreds of new red markers appeared. The Voidborn were calling reinforcements. Vera's stomach dropped. There's too many, even for you. Arden's eyes stayed on the map. Then we take as many as we can with us. The fleet formed a defensive wall around the Iron Requiem. They fought with unmatched fury, but the swarm pressed in from all sides. The void was filled with fire and shadows, ships burning and falling silent one after another. On the comms, Helios spoke. Captain, probability of survival, 12%. Recommend initiating last fire protocol. Arden didn't answer immediately. His gaze was locked on the dying light of the enemy's core. Finally, he spoke. Not yet. One more push. For another 15 minutes, the battle raged. Then, almost as suddenly as it began, the Voidborn pulled back. The swarm retreated toward the edge of the system, leaving behind wreckage and burning ships. The command ship, though damaged, followed them into the darkness. No cheers came from the bridge. The humans knew this was not a victory, was a warning, as silence returned to the stars. Arden stood over the battle map. They're testing us, he said. The real strike is still coming. Vera stepped forward. Then we have to warn the core worlds. Arden shook his head. No, we don't warn them. We bring the war to the Voidborn before they can strike again. He looked out into the dark between the stars. If we fall in fire. But we'll make sure the galaxy lives. Asterisk, the human fleet drifted in the shadow of a shattered moon. The battle was over, but the scars remained. Of the 50 Titan-class warships that had left the rim, less than 30 still floated in formation. Hulls were torn. Fires burned inside some. The void was littered with wreckage, human and Voidborn alike. And yet, they all knew the enemy was not defeated. On the Iron Requiem's bridge, Captain Elias Arden stood silent, his eyes fixed on the star map. Red markers bloomed like bloodstains, moving toward the galaxy's heart. The Voidborn swarm was coming again, this time with numbers that dwarfed everything before. They're committing their full strength, Arden said quietly. Commander Vera's feathers tightened. How long before they reach the core worlds? Days. Arden replied, maybe less. A low, mechanical voice cut through the tense air. AI Command Unit, Helios spoke from the center console. Captain, current projections indicate 0% survival if engagement occurs under normal parameters. Recommend activation of last fire protocol. The bridge went silent. Everyone knew what that meant. Vera looked between Arden and the AI. Last fire. What is that? Arden's gaze stayed locked on the map. A weapon built for one purpose: to end the Voidborn in a single strike. It's powerful enough to destroy a fleet the size of theirs, but it will also destroy us. Vera's voice dropped to a whisper. You'd be sacrificing everything. Arden finally looked at her. We were always going to die in this war. The only question is whether our deaths will mean something. Preparations began immediately. The fleet changed course, heading for a dead star system on the rimmer place where the last fire was hidden. The journey was quiet. No one on the bridge spoke more than necessary. Repairs were made, weapons reloaded, but every crew member knew these were their final hours. In the mess hall, soldiers laughed a little too loudly, told old stories, and shared drinks. Vera watched them, realizing they weren't afraid. They had accepted their fate long ago. When they arrived, the dead star loomed before them. Around it floated a single, massive station, ancient, rusted, but still alive with faint blue lights. This was the cradle of the last fire. As the iron Requiem docked, massive armored doors opened, revealing a colossal weapon longer than a Titan, with a glowing core that pulsed like a captured sun. Helios' voice carried through every ship in the fleet. Last fire charge sequence initiated. Estimated time to full power, 40 minutes. Arden spoke next, his voice calm and clear over the fleet's comms. This is Captain Arden. 5 centuries ago, we swore an oath to hold the line against the darkness. That oath does not end today. Today, we make it eternal. Every ship will escort the last fire to the enemy's heart. Every gun will fire until we cannot fire anymore. And when the light comes, the Voidborn will remember us forever. They didn't have to wait long for the enemy to find them. From the edge of the system, the Voidborn swarm emerged, thousands of spear-like ships, surrounding an armada of command ships. The darkness they brought swallowed the light of distant stars. The human fleet moved to intercept. The first clash was brutal. Titans poured fire into the swarm, railgun rounds and plasma bursts cutting swaths through the black ships. But the Voidborn pressed forward relentlessly, closing the gap to the last fire. 30 minutes to full charge, Helios reported. Command ship lunged forward, firing a massive rift beam that tore through a human battleship, splitting it in half. Without hesitation, another Titan moved into its place, guns blazing to shield the weapon. Vera's heart pounded as she watched the formation tighten. Every loss was filled instantly. These ships were not just fighting, they were dying in perfect unity. 15 minutes, Helios said. The swarm pressed harder, beams slicing into human armor, boarding drones latching onto hulls. The Titans fought them off at point-blank range, their guns tearing the attackers apart. On the Iron Requiem, damage reports flooded in. Fires spread through 2 decks. Shield strength dropped to 30%. Still, Arden stood unshaken. Hold. The line, hold. 5 minutes to charge, Helios announced. By now, the human fleet was down to less than half its original number. The last fire glowed so brightly it hurt to look at. The Voidborn surged forward in desperation, sensing the danger. A massive black shape, bigger than anything, yet emerged from the swarm. It was the Voidborn Prime, the true master of their kind. Its core pulsed with the same dark light, but larger, deeper, almost alive. It moved straight for the last fire. Arden didn't hesitate. All ships' final push. Block the Prime. The Titans slammed forward, ramming and firing at close range. One by one, they fell, but every second they bought was a second closer to the weapon's completion. Helios' voice was steady. Last fire at full charge. Arden's voice dropped to a low command. All ships disengage, safety locks. Prepare for ignition. Vera turned to him, You can still run, he shook his head, and leave the galaxy to burn. No, we finish this. The last fire's core blazed with the light of a newborn star. Arden's final words echoed over the comes, calm and proud. From silence we rose, in fire we end, for Earth, for all. The last fire detonated. A wave of pure white energy erupted outward, racing through the swarm. Void-born ships dissolved instantly, their black forms shredded to dust. Command ships cracked apart, their cores shattering. Even the void-born prime screamed a sound, felt rather than heard before being consumed by the light.